Okay. Hi, everyone at Ohio State. I'm Eileen Merberg, and I'm the Executive Director of Alpha Lambda Delta. We're headquartered in the Rochester, New York area. And this info session is specific to OSU. Um, and your chapter president is here. And if you do have questions, particularly for him or particularly about the chapter, hopefully his camera and microphone can turn on. But in the meantime, I will just talk about Alpha Lambda Delta in general and sort of the national, international scope of it. And then you could put in chat any questions you have for Samuel. But we'll put his email in chat too. Well, you actually have his email in all the invitations or emails you've received. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be brief. Our info sessions are no more than 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to sort of fly through some stuff and tell you a little bit about ALD. Our mission is to encourage superior academic achievement. That's what we're all about. We are an academic honor society. You did well your first semester at Ohio State. Congrats on that. So that's why you're invited to join Alpha Lambda Delta, and that is our criteria for membership. We've been around a long time, over 100 years. Last year we had a couple big celebrations to celebrate our centennial. We're technically actually recognized at over 400 U.S. Colleges and universities, and actually 2 international. But about more close to 300 or so are active. And we induct at least 22,000 students each year. Ohio State tends to be one of our largest chapters in the country. I'm going to talk a little bit about legitimacy in another slide. But just know that there is an organization called the Association of College Honor Societies, ACHS, and it's a certifying agency that really helps distinguish true honor societies, real legit ones that have academic criteria versus those who are inviting just about everybody in the world. So we've been a certified member of ACHS since 1939, I think. I'm going to talk a little bit about legitimacy again. So again, you did well your first semester, which is why you were invited and received that exclusive invitation only to those who received high grades your first semester. We're going to talk about membership fees in a minute. I mostly just want to point out that for all chapters in the country, the national fee is $30. That's the ALD national fee, one time, lifetime. You're never charged anything more for membership. You're a member for life. There are no annual fees, no recurring fees, no additional charges on a credit card, nothing like that. But if I should have written this down, if somebody wants to tell me in chat, every chapter though can add on an amount. I think yours is 20. So I think Ohio State's fee is $50. That's again one time, lifetime. And we're going to talk about the differences between those two. But the 20 is the local fee. I'll talk again about benefits, but it is a good resume builder, leadership opportunities, recognition. I'll talk about the perks program, honor cords. That's just sort of a taste of some of the benefits. Okay, the next 2 slides, I think they're the next 2, are what I know to hear from students, what I know students are thinking about and hearing from students who are invited, that there's some questions you might have about legitimacy and why does it cost money and what do I get for my money? So I just want to answer those things head on. Oh, I forgot this part. It isn't the next slide. Every member gets a certificate and pin, and then there are induction ceremonies. You are actually, oh, Sam fixed his sound issue. Yay, Sam, good. So there is an actual induction ceremony at Ohio State on April 6th. It's going to be a really nice event. You don't have, if you can't attend, you can still join and be a member. You don't have to be at the event, but you can if you want. There's those are just some examples of ceremonies from other chapters. Okay, so here's the slides with the questions that I mentioned. And now that Sam's fixed his tech issues, we'll pull him in. So the next two slides are just going to be some questions we hear about. We do think having a high GPA is a big deal. It's certainly worth celebrating. It's the foundation of Alpha Lambda Delta and why, and the foundation of really all honor societies is that achieving high academic standards is something worthy to be recognized and celebrated. And so that's again the premise of ALD. And it's not easy, especially your first semester. So whatever you did, great job. And ALD can help you continue on that path. However, if your GPA drops below 3.5, which is our minimum, you don't get kicked out. So you don't have to maintain that. We don't ever check grades again, honestly. They were checked on the from your first semester, and that's the last time we'll look at grades. We want to encourage you to continue to do well. You've got a great foundation to continue to do well. Maybe you have a goal of maintaining a 3.5 cumulative. With the goal of maybe getting into grad school or getting a good job. So, or internships, that sort of thing. So belonging to Alpha Lambda Delta is going to help you with that. But again, not required. You don't get kicked out because you're a member for life and you've already met the standards and qualifications. I hear a lot about from students that feel like they've gotten maybe multiple invitations. Maybe you've already joined 5 other clubs, you're on a sports team, you work part-time or full-time, you've got a million things going on and you got this invitation and you think, it sounds interesting maybe, but I just don't have the time for it. It's like, I can't do one more thing. So we get that. It's important to point out that you're not required to be involved. So there is no requirement. It's different from a lot of business fraternities and service fraternities and social Greek letter fraternities and sororities where you're required to do 6 hours of service a month or go to 6 meetings or whatever it is. That is not the case with Alpha Lambda Delta. You can pick and choose what you want to get involved with. It can be a few things. It can be nothing. It could be all the things. So it's not a requirement. The last thing I'll say about time is that your time commitments are going to change over the next 3 years. So you might have a really busy semester right now, but I would encourage you not to make decisions on joining based on your time right now, because next year something might open up. You see a program that Samuel and the other students are planning and you want to go to it. Or the year after, or your senior year, you want to wear honor cords. You might find that you have more time in the future. And again, you don't have to attend things. Time and money are the 2 common questions that we get and concerns about for students about whether they should join or not. So money. Why should I have to pay a fee? What does the money go towards? Why is there any fee charged? And is it worth it? So again, just to clarify, our fee is, so I believe you were told it was $50. So $30 is the national. That's for every chapter in the country. You get the certificate, the pin, and about like 17 other major benefits that I will show you in a few minutes, but a leadership certificate series, perks, a perks discount program. The funds go towards our scholarship program. You're eligible to apply for our scholarships. Just a ton of things. And for $30, we try and keep it as low as possible. We are a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization. We are not out to make tons of money off the backs of college students. So we try and keep that fee low. Like I said, anything above 30 goes straight to the chapter. So that is your money that goes right back to the chapter for your student leaders. And you might want to be a student leader someday with the chapter, but that's the money you get to spend. It might go towards honor cords. It's going to go towards food at the induction ceremony. Every club on campus has to have some money to function on campus. That's just the nature of student organizations. So that's how that works. Samuel, you want to test your microphone and camera and see anything you want to say about time and money?
Hi.
Hey, yay, it
Hi,
works.
it works perfect. And I've just also sent the closest event that we have planned for this semester in the group chat. So as inductees, you're able to go to this if you want to just kind of get to meet some of your friends too. About time, let's talk about time first, I think. The idea is that even if you don't have a lot of time to spend in this organization, we have leadership opportunities for you. Um, we have, of course, established leadership opportunities, but basically, whatever you want to do, whatever initiatives you want to do, there are positions we can create for you. And the idea is that if you are dedicated to kind of helping this organization, um, just we have yearly elections. Please send a message to me or to any of the student officers, and we'll tell you more about it. But we have actually open positions for this year's leadership officer positions that like that you could be eligible for this year. So yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Um,
And how
that's
about
about it for
the
time.
funds that the $20 chapter fee goes towards? Any examples of things that's being spent on?
Oh, yes. So for example, your induction ceremony is a, pretty pricey ceremony. We're going to rent out the performance hall in the Ohio Union, and you're all allowed to bring yourself and two members, so two other people to the ceremony, and
You
we'll
mean two
provide cake.
guests?
Two guests,
Two
yes.
guests, yeah.
We'll provide cake and food. So yeah, that's one of the more pricier items preparing, a ceremony for 300 capacity. Other things are smaller events and then speaker events, especially. I We have kind of three areas of events that we plan. We have social, we have service, and then we have professional development. Now, in the opinion of most of the officers, the professional development is kind of the core of what we do because as an honors organization, of course, we want to provide a space for you to make friends and hang out, but what I guess our focus is getting you kind of used to college life, finding resources, and potentially connecting with industry. That's the biggest part that we can do that kind of differentiates us.
Right?
So yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome. And I see in this not nibble and watch flyer that he just put in chat, it's you get free Chick-fil-A and Amazon gift cards. So that's awesome. Okay, so you can see enough on the money. That's sort of where we're at. Every organization, every membership organization has a membership fee. We're trying to be as transparent as possible and no recurring cost. We often get confused with fraternities and sororities. Obviously, we have Greek letter names. Ohio State probably has a lot of social fraternities and sororities. They're great. You can only join one of them when you join. If you do rush a fraternity or sorority, either your first year or next year, you know that you just join one for life and that's it. But that's not the case with honor organizations or leadership organizations or service fraternities or business fraternities and honor societies. You can join as many as you want. We're a great starter honor society because our focus is first year success. So joining us can be a good foot in the door for your future honor societies at OSU that might include Phi Beta Kappa or Phi Kappa Phi or Mortarboard or some of the senior level or junior level honor societies and honor societies that are tied to your major, to your academic major. So if you have any thoughts about wanting to be invited to join any of those later on, Alpha Lambda Delta is a good starting point. So maybe you have gotten tons of emails. I know that college students get inundated with email from their own university, let alone outside groups like us. Although we're not really an outside group because we're a chapter at your campus. But I know that you get a lot of emails and that you maybe got invited to some other organizations that call themselves honor societies and aren't necessarily, and it makes us all look a little scammy and sketchy. So all I can say for that is, there are some questionable groups out there and sketchy organizations that perhaps you don't get really much for, that they just want your credit card and that might be it. So all I'll say for that is that there's a couple tips I would share with you to look for. So do your homework. Just Google organizations, see what other people are saying, see what you can find out online, but look for a couple of things. One is, was there any academic criteria at all for for an organization you might have gotten invited to, or maybe your friends have? Do they state anything about having academic criteria? Alpha Lambda Delta is very strict about you only get invited if you have met the academic criteria. So they should not be calling themselves an honor society if they did not have academic criteria. Do they have a campus presence? Is there a chapter, any sort of organization recognized on your campus the way Alpha Lambda Delta is? You have a faculty advisor with ALD. You've got Samuel and about 15 other students, leaders who are leading that chapter. It's run by students. So look for that sort of thing. And then just the other sort of national things on their websites. Do they have an address? Like, is there actually, an office somewhere run by a staff? Is there a volunteer board of directors? Is it a 501c3? So just, again, check into some of those things. Check the ACHS website, which I mentioned, the Association of College Honor Societies. They'll have a list of certified, legit ones. So we've mentioned that you don't have to spend time with ALD. You don't have to go to meetings and events. So then if I don't get involved, is it really worth it? So we definitely think it is. So again, you might want to go to events later on, even if it's not this semester. But we're known all around the world, really. We've got almost 1.4 million members of Alpha Lambda Delta throughout our history. So we're one of the largest. So we're known by employers, we're known by graduate school reviewers, we're known by scholarship reviewers. So, we have, having been around for 100 years, it still is going to be recognized. So the last one on this slide is if you transfer. So remember that it's a lifetime membership and your membership follows you wherever you go. Can't escape it. So if you transfer out of Ohio State, your membership follows you. So if you go to a school that has a chapter and you want to be involved, just let us know, ALD@nationalald.org, and we can transfer your record. Your record in our system, if you join, will show that you were inducted or joined at Ohio State, but that you're now a member at Ohio University or somewhere else. If you go to a school that does not have a chapter, then we would add you, if you wanted to stay connected, we'd add you to what we call our global chapter, so that at least you could stay connected and maybe receive periodic updates on anything new we're offering members. You could also maybe help us start a new chapter at your university if we don't have one, because we're always looking to expand. Okay, I mentioned, I'll have Samuel talk again. He's mentioned a few things already, but if you want to add anything, Samuel, but just a quick overview of the benefits nationally. I mentioned a leadership certificate program. It's called ALD Lead Certified. Strongly recommend you check it out. It comes with your membership. You have to opt into it, but it's online leadership development, self-paced. You could take the next 3 years to do it. If you complete the series, you get a certificate and your name on our website. So that's called ALD Leads Certified. We offer, this is actually an old, a couple months ago, we increased our scholarship. So we offer $225,000 every year. So if you do become a member, then next year you could apply for our scholarships. We offer 4 different kinds. I mentioned this perks program. They say that it can save you like $4,000 if you use it regularly. So it's going to more than pay for your $50 fee. It's an app on your phone or a website, but it's basically what it sounds like, which is discounts and perks on various products and things that you're already spending money on, movies and food and pizza and oil changes and all sorts of stuff. We offer a lot of career development, and as Samuel mentioned, your chapter's focused a lot on professional development. This is a little known fact, but it is true that if you ever want to work for the government at any point in your life, you're automatically upgraded to pay grades because of membership in the National Honor Society. It's certainly going to enhance your resume, which we talked about. Lots of volunteer opportunities. We offer, these are students at our conference. We have a leadership conference every year. Actually, Samuel went to it last year. It's a possibility if you're interested in getting involved in the chapter that you might be able to go to this free of charge, a weekend in Washington, D.C. this year. It's in a different city every year. I'm going to turn it back to Samuel again to see if he'd like to share anything more just about involvement in the chapter. And let me just also add, sorry, Samuel, one more thing. The far majority of our members are not leaders in the chapter. You don't have to think like you have to become a leader in the chapter or an officer. You're certainly welcome to express interest and apply, but you don't have to. It's a big organization, and not everyone can take on a leadership role. But there's lots of other opportunities to connect if you want. Samuel, anything you want to say on that one?
I think you covered everything pretty well. I would say that if you are interested in becoming an officer and you would like to find out more about like what we do and what positions are available, that you stay after the meeting and then or if you're busy, then we can set up another time. But if you stay after the meeting, we can talk about that. So
Okay, and yeah, I don't think we can stay on the Zoom, but if you could put your email in chat, can you do
yes, I'll
that?
do that.
Okay,
Sure, I'll
cool.
do that. One sec.
Yeah. So, it's not just for your first year. Alpha Lambda Delta will have opportunities for you all 4 years or 3.5 technically. It's not just right now your first semester. We do have incentives for you to continue doing well. We do a senior certificate and the senior book award. And then, of course, I mentioned this briefly, but honor regalia is very popular among students. Hundreds of thousands of students wear honor cords at graduation. It's a nice thing to have. You might not be thinking about that right now because you're first years, but when you graduate, you might want to wear an honor cord. So joining ALD can allow for that. I would just, and I'm wrapping up here too, is strongly suggest you follow us online just to get a sense of who we are and sort of our vibe. We do a lot of stuff on Instagram, mostly a little bit on YouTube. This recording will show up on YouTube, but we're at National ALD, and it might be if you want to start following us, that would be again a good sort of indication of what we do and what we're about, kind of thing. I'm going to put that in chat as well. So we're at, like I said before, at National ALD.